Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and taking care of your health. Welcome to the next lecture of English language. See, children, we have almost completed with letter writing in the previous lectures. Today, I am going to start a new topic, that is figures of speech. Okay? Now, figures of speeches. What do you mean by figure of speech, children? Whenever poet does many poetic effects while writing the poem with the help of figurative language, that is called figure of speeches. See, we have seen poems. In the poems are as simple as lessons, children? No, it is not. There are many expressions, rhyming words, rhyme schemes are there, tuning is there, proper sound is there. That's why it is called as poem. Yes or no? वहाँ पे proper एक tune बैठता है, एक proper rhyme scheme होती है. Then only it is called as poem. Otherwise, there will be no difference between poem and the lesson. Okay? So, for making it more interesting, for making it like a song, for making it poetry, the poet does many, poetic effects throughout the poem, and that poetic effects are just because of the figure of speeches which are used by the poet in the poem. Okay, so here today we are going to discuss a very important, not all, few important figure of speeches. Simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration and repetition we are going to discuss in today's lecture. So let's start with the very first figure of speech, that is simile. See, children, whenever poet compare one thing with the another thing, okay, with the help of a word as or like, that particular figure of speech is called simile. Okay, you may have seen in many poems, like we have already done the very first poem, life, है ना? Life is like a dream, है ना? Life is like a dream. So here I am comparing life with a dream with the help of a word like. So such figure of speech is called simile. Here we have few examples. Look at the number 1. My brother is as tall as giraffe. Okay, I am comparing my brother with the giraffe with the help of the word as. Okay, so this is the example of simile where poet is comparing the brother with the giraffe by using the word as. Are you getting my point, children? Next example. Some other examples includes as cute as kitten. My baby is as cute as kitten. Okay, so here I am comparing the baby with the kitten by using the word as. As funny as monkey. As light as feather. As cold as ice. As innocent as lamb. See, in all these lines, as is the word which is used to compare two different things with one another. Understood, children? I hope you all have understood what is exactly simile. Okay? Or you can write, my mother is as sweet as... My mother is as sweet as... What? As sweet as yours. Okay, और my teacher is as funny as my mom. मतलब हमारी माँ को हम टीचर से कंपेयर कर रहे हैं. So these are the examples. Next is metaphor. See, children, mostly children get confused between metaphor and simile as they are similar. There is a difference. What is that difference? That I am going to show you. Simile is also used for comparison. Simile में भी हम comparison करते हैं. Metaphor is also used for comparison. But simile is the indirect comparison because we are using the word as or like. But in the metaphor, we directly compare. हम यहाँ पर उसके जैसा नहीं बोलते, वो बोलते हैं, उसी को बोल देते हैं. Not like, my mother is like Sushmita Sen. Here I am using a word like. Or I can say, my mother is Sushmita Sen. Or my mother is Miss India. So here what I am saying, my mother is that only. Okay? Without comparing. This is a direct comparison. मतलब उस चीज़ को किसी और चीज़ को, उस चीज़ को कोई और चीज़ कहना. That is metaphor. See metaphor. A metaphor is an implicit comparison without using words such as like, as, just as. such as. Understood the difference, children? In the simile, we compare by using these words, and in metaphor, we directly compare without using such words. Understood? Let's see more example. The camel is the ship of the desert. है ना, डायरेक्ट कंपैरिजन. हम बोल रहे हैं कि कैमल इज लाइक अ शिप. नो, कैमल इज द शिप. वो है, शिप ही है. अंडरस्टूड. सेकेंड, द शिप प्लग्स द सी. हियर ऑल्सो, आवर एल्डेस्ट सन इज द स्टार ऑफ द फैमिली. नॉट लाइक द स्टार, ही इज द स्टार. ही हैज़ अ हार्ट ऑफ स्टोन. ही हैज़ अ हार्ट ऑफ स्टोन, नॉट लाइक अ स्टोन. ही इज़ अ हार्ट ऑफ स्टोन. उसका दिल पत्थर का है. पत्थर जैसा भी नहीं है, पत्थर का ही है. Understood, children, the difference between metaphor and simile? Okay. So here we finish simile and metaphor. Let's see the next example. Next figure of example of metaphor. Metaphor is a figure of speech in which something is spoken as being something else, even though it is not that something else. Words of comparison are not used in it. Okay, your brain is a computer. सी टोटल डिफरेंट थिंग्स. ब्रेन और कंप्यूटर को कोई मेल है क्या? नहीं है, दोनों एक अलग चीज़ है. वन इज़ द ह्यूमन बॉडी एंड अनदर वन इज़ द मशीन. बट स्टिल वी कंपेयर डायरेक्टली. तुम्हारा ब्रेन कंप्यूटर है. अगर हम बोलते हैं ना कोई बच्चा बहुत ही स्कॉलर है, बहुत ही होशियार है और बहुत ही इंटेलिजेंट है, तो वी कॉल योर ब्रेन इज़ कंप्यूटर. ओके, सो दिस इज़ द डायरेक्ट कंपेरिजन. और यू आर सेइंग समथिंग टू द अदर थिंग. डायरेक्टली एक चीज़ को दूसरी चीज़ कहना, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड मेटाफर. ओके चिल्ड्रेन, understood the difference between simile and metaphor? Okay, I hope you all have understood. Next is personification, assigning human qualities to non-humans. See, there are some qualities which are in human only. कुछ qualities ऐसी है जो इंसानों की ही होती है, जो non living things में या non humans में नहीं होती है. Okay, but sometime for the poetic effect, what poet does, he gives the human quality to non-humans. Okay, suppose the flowers are dancing. Dancing is the human quality, right? Which is given to the flower. समझ में आ रहा है? जब भी इंसानों वाली कोई क्वालिटी जानवरों को, पेड़ पत्तों को दी जाती है, that figure of speech is called as personification. Okay, here you can see the birds are dancing, as I told you. Okay, or there are many more which we are going to discuss. Let's see examples. A few more examples of personifications are lightning dance across the sky. It happens, lightning can dance. Dancing is a human quality which is given to lightning. My alarm clock shouts at me. My alarm clock shouts. Shouting is the whose quality it is? Yes, it's a quality of human being. Okay, maybe sometimes our mothers, they shout at us in the morning when we don't get up for school, right? So here the human quality of shouting is given to alarm. Next example, get out of bed every morning. The moon played hide and seek with the clouds. See, playing is also the quality of whose? Human being, which is given to the moon. Can moon play hide and seek? No, it's just a thought. Just because of some geographical reasons, sometimes we see the moon, sometimes we don't see the moon, sometimes it gets hidden by the clouds. Okay, so that's natural. But here it's just a thought that moon played hide and seek with the clouds. हो सकता है क्या? वो खेल सकता है क्या? No. She did not realize that opportunity was knocking at her door. Knocking is also a human quality. Can opportunity knock? No, opportunity is just an idea. It's just a thought. है ना? Abstract idea है, वो एक thought है. The popcorn leaped out of the bowl. हो सकता है? No, that leaping is also of quality of human being. समझ में आ रहा है? जो भी इंसानों की क्वालिटी है वो नॉन लिविंग थिंग को दी जाती है. That is called personification. Understood, children? Simile, metaphor, and now personification we finished. Next is repetition. See children, this is the easiest figure of speech. It is very easy to identify. There are more than figure of speeches in English language in which only repetition is done. Repetition मतलब repetition of the word. अगर कोई word जो है वो repeat हो गया है, that is called repetition. You just have to underline that word and you have to write the figure of speech is repetition. Okay, ये बहुत आसान है. Repetition could be any literary device in which words, phrase or sentences repeated 2 or more times. Okay, sometimes the word get repeated, most of the times, not sometimes, most of the time क्या होता है, words repeat होता है, और sometimes the phrase gets repeated. Oh, okay, और कभी कभी पूरा sentence भी repeat होता है. It depends. Repetition covers a number of more specific figure of speeches, all of which use repetition in different ways. But now we will focus only on repetition of words and phrases or sentences. ठीक है, कोई भी वर्ड दो बार आ जाता है एक लाइन में, या कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि एक ही लाइन दो बार रिपीट हो जाती है. ठीक है, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड फिगर ऑफ स्पीच. हियर वी हैव फ्यू एग्जांपल्स. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. See, this is the repetition. Next, the boss said, don't come late, don't. See, don't again, don't दोबारा आया है. Leave early and don't delay your work. Again, the word don't is repeated. I felt happy because I saw the others were happy and because I knew I should. See, the word happy is repeated thrice in this line. Understood, children? So, such figure of speech is called as repetition, where the words or sometimes phrases or sometimes sentences are repeated. Understood? We have completed 4 figure of speech: simile, metaphor, personification, and now repetition. Okay, so now last figure of speech of the today. Alliteration. Alliteration is a figure of speech in which the same sound is repeated in a group of words. See, here also there is a slight difference. Alliteration में क्या होता है कि एक पूरा sound repeat होता है, words repeat नहीं होते. Similar sound throughout the line use होता है. Suppose अगर S का साउंड है तो पूरी लाइन में जो है वो S साउंड रिपीट होगा, F का साउंड है तो वो पूरा रिपीट होगा. तो here the sounds get repeated. Okay, sound of one particular alphabet get repeated in one of the line. That is called alliteration. And in the repetition, the words are repeated. So don't get confused between these two. Here I'll try to explain you. All the tongue twisters are the perfect examples of alliterations. See here, she sells seashells by the seashore. देखो एस 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 पूरी लाइन में एस 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 एस, सी सेल सीज बाय द सी शोर. तो हियर यू कैन से द साउंड ऑफ एस इज रिपीटेड. अंडरस्टूड? लाइक दिस यू शुड राइट. कभी भी क्वेश्चन आएगा आइडेंटिफाई एलिट्रेशन, तो यू कैन अंडरलाइन येस एस एस एस, द साउंड ऑफ एस इज रिपीटेड इन दिस लाइन. सो दिस फिगर ऑफ स्पीच इज एलिट्रेशन. सेकेंड एग्जाम्पल, हाउ कैन अ काम क्रैम इन अ क्लीन क्रीम कैन. बोलो अभी कितना आसान है. सी, the sound of C is repeated. Okay, children, I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. Here, what is repeated? K. The sound of K is repeated. We surely shall see the sunshine soon. Here also the sound of S is repeated. Understood, children? What are figure of speeches? We have done almost 5 figure of speeches today. Okay, we will have a quick recap now. Figure of speech is a phrase or word having different meanings than its literal meanings. It conveys meaning by identifying or comparing one thing to another which has connotation or meaning familiar to the audience. So here we finish with figure of speeches. We have done 5 figure of speeches which are mainly used, most commonly used. And in the next lecture, we will continue with the another figure of speeches. So which figure of speeches we have done today, children? We have done with personification, alliteration and simile, metaphor. Okay? I hope you have understood. Okay, children. So whatever notes I am giving you, please note down in the notebook. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Keep calm and take care of yourself. Thank you so much. Bye.